Okay, so give us a little taste of first who Iris is when we meet her in the pilot, and then also, you know, how you see that she might change based on Barry coming back and, you know, being the friend that she kind of didn't have for the last few months.
Yeah, so when we meet Iris, she's in school and she's studying journalism. She's making her way into being a reporter, and you know, you meet Iris in the middle of her relationship with Barry. They are longtime childhood friends, and he's had this freak accident where he was struck by lightning, and he's been in a coma for 9 months. And, you begin to see how things are going to change between Iris and Barry. The relationship has been it's been the same for so long, and now this freak occurrence has happened, and it'll be interesting to see how that changes their relationship.
Do you feel like she is a different person? That he's come back to someone that maybe he doesn't recognize exactly?
In her?
Yeah. Has she changed without him?
She has changed in terms of she has a boyfriend. When he wakes up from the coma, he realizes that she's found a love interest. And I think that breaks Barry's heart, you know, because he's been harboring feelings for her, and he's just finally had the courage to start to say something about it, and to see her moving on with someone else, I think is hard for him. Yeah, so I think he does see that she's changing and growing up.
Okay. I mean, it is an interesting dynamic because, you know, he's had feelings for her, but in a way they're family. I mean, like, he really stepped into their family. You know, her father helped raise him. What does that dynamic look like in the early part of the show?
It's great. I mean, I think that's the thing why she's so aloof to Barry having feelings for her, because to her it's like, listen, you're my homie. Like, you grew up one bedroom down from me. Like, listen, I've seen your underwear. Like, I know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't even occur to her that this guy who she sees as her brother could have feelings for her. But that relationship between them, I think, it's so wonderful to see on TV, just how much she knows about him and how much he knows about her. And it'll be interesting to see if a romantic relationship forms between them, because the best relationships are formed on great friendships.
Do you see any sort of rivalry, though? Because, I mean, he was never competing for her father's attention, but now he and her father share a secret that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you anticipate coming out of that? Is there tension?
I don't know what to anticipate about that, but I do get the feeling that her finding out that he is the Flash and that he's been keeping that from her, and that her father has had a part in keeping that from her, I imagine that would be very upsetting to know that these people who you've told everything to, and who've told you everything, have been harboring the secret. I think it's going to change the dynamic of her relationship with Barry, and I think it's going to change the dynamic with her father.
What are the sides to the character of Iris that you're personally really excited to explore?
Being a journalist, I think it's going to be interesting to see how inquisitive she is and how she figures things out. And that's what I love about Iris. She's not stupid. She's very smart. So to me, I do feel like she's going to find out very much sooner than later about who Barry really is. Okay. I love that she's smart.
Do you think it makes a difference if she finds out on her own versus, you know, is told, or, you know, just happens to stumble upon maybe him in the suit or something like that? Do you think, like, for who the character is, it matters that she figures it out?
I don't think it matters. I think it would be interesting for her to find out on her own, because she is so smart and she's so inquisitive. I think that would work more in line with her character, but I don't know that it would matter as long as she finds out. You know, I want her to find out.
Well, I mean, I do feel like the Flash does something so interesting in that they don't keep the secret from everybody right off the bat. I mean, that's not something that is typical. How much time can you go as an actor before you say, all right, it makes sense that the character doesn't know, but, like, where's that breaking point of, like, now here I feel like the character would know? What would that take?
Well, I think we've had conversations, Andrew Kreisberg and I, and they don't want to go down that road.
Right.
They just don't want to go down that road where it's seasons in and she's, like, still doesn't know that he's the Flash, because at some point sometimes it becomes non-believable. So I think we want to get over that hurdle pretty quickly.
Okay. You were talking about the fact that she has a boyfriend. What are we seeing in terms of Iris's personal life? Like, are we seeing a lot of her separate from Barry, and seeing her, you know, her pursuit of her career, but also her pursuit of her personal life? Yeah,
I mean, I do believe you'll see a lot of that, a lot of her with Eddie and their romantic relationship and how that evolves. But I do think the majority of it will be her relationship with Barry, and and her digging and finding out about what's happening in the city.
Okay. Are there other characters from their childhood that you feel like would be important to bring in, like other friends, or like just not necessarily from the comics, just in general? Like, who would you want to populate their world with?
Like as the younger versions?
No, I just mean like now. Like maybe they have mutual friends that should be brought into the show, because it does feel like, you know, there's Barry's old life and Barry's new life, and they will be meeting.
Yeah.
But how much of it is the balance of maybe more people right now are from his new life? Maybe we need a little bit more from his old life.
Well, I think the thing about his old life is he's such a nerd and he spends so much time in his lab. I don't know that he is very social, and I think Iris is his friend, like his
only friend. Does that add extra pressure for you then, to be like, the chemistry here has to be
from the get-go?
Beyond? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think what was so important in the pilot for me is establishing that relationship between Grant and I, so that when you watch it, you immediately get the sense that this is a relationship that's been established since childhood.
Right.
You know, and it's that familiarity has to be there. And so when they were casting, I think Grant and I, when I read with him, that was instantly there. And I think the producers knew, okay, this is going to be easy for those two to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much.